You know, I came out here and I was wondering how my system was doing, and I had to check it. And look at this here. It's around I think 6:30, and this is the cool part right there. Look at that. Absorb. Now look, I am new to this whole off-grid solar panels, well, all that stuff. I'm not used to this stuff, and I'm getting more used to it, right? I'm getting more accustomed to the language, to how things work and operate, and I'm hoping that what I'm about to discuss with you guys will help you a little bit too, because I was, man, I just didn't know. And so as I'm learning and failing, I'm hoping that I can share some of that stuff with you. Anyways, my system is the Magnuson. I think I probably shared that with you guys before. It's a good system. We've had really no issues with it. It's been fantastic, been rocking and rolling. So if you are looking for one, I mean, as someone who doesn't know much about them, I would recommend it. I think it's been working pretty good for us. Now we have a 48 volt system. Now here's what we've been having. Here's the issue that we've been having. It was always on bulk. And again, I'm a novice, so I'm still learning. But my understanding was that it was still filling up, right? So the rays were coming in. It was charging the batteries. We would use it throughout the day, and it would just not. It would never get out of bulk. And I had a buddy come over the other day, and let's see. Yeah, man, 16. Look at that. Beautiful. These are deep flooded. They've been working for us. They're Royals, right? But here's what I'm trying to get to ultimately. What's happening is that the power was coming in, but we had corrosion. We had corrosion on some of the terminals here, right? And the way he described it to me was like, well, no wonder you're never getting to absorb or float because these aren't charging adequately. And so what he was like, he noticed the corrosion on them right away and was like, Mark, you gotta clean that stuff off, man, because if you don't, you're gonna have issues. So what I did is all the terminals that had corrosion on them, I think this one was a really bad one. You can see some of the stuff on there still. I took it off, and then took this whole thing apart, all this here, all these nuts and washers, and then scraped it off with the brass wire brush. Got some baking soda and some water, cleaned it really good, and then put it back together. And then, I don't think I have anymore, but I'll show you what I had here. Then I used this stuff here, right? I sprayed it on there, and let's see, just make sure you guys get a look at that, right? So that's what I used right there, the battery corrosion preventive NCP2, I think is what it is, and it worked great. It still is working pretty good. Well, what ended up happening is that when we did get some good sunny days, these all started working amazingly, right? And then it started going to bulk, and then it ultimately went to float, which is fantastic. So if you're having issues with your batteries, that may be what it is. I would try that. Now, let me just say this real quick before I go any further. I'm not a professional. I'm not, okay? I'm a plumber. If you need plumbing advice, I'm happy to help you. But I'm not a solar guy, right? So again, this is my system. I don't know what your system looks like or all the ins and outs of that, but just be careful, right? Don't blow yourself up. I'm just some dude on the internet, man. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I did. But what we ended up having to do is I had to turn all these switches off, all of them, because we didn't want any trouble with either stuff being stored in there and then I get fried. I'm using metal tools, and so just be careful when you're taking the terminals apart. If you're not comfortable, don't even try it, because again, we don't want you to get hurt or even mess up your system, right? That's important. But if you are comfortable enough and you know how to work your system and you see corrosion on your terminals, that's a weak link. And the way he described it to me was, imagine if you're trying to pull with a chain and there's a weak link on the chain. Well, you're gonna have issues, right? There's not gonna be that strength there among all these here that are gonna feed your home. So for what it's worth, I hope that was helpful. I don't know. I was very grateful for that, because once we did that and we cleaned up all these terminals, it made a huge difference on our system. So yeah, hey, let me know, guys, if maybe there's something that I'm missing that maybe can make it better. But that helped me, and I hope that this information helps you. Hey, have a great weekend. God bless. Take care. See ya.